knew that it was really, really difficult because guess what? I had excuses. I had excuses that I was from Toronto. I was short. I didn't throw overly hard. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from California. I'm not from Florida. I mean, the excuses are endless. But I wanted to play, and I wanted to play NCAA Division I baseball, which was the highest level under the major leagues. So what did I do? I started reaching out to schools in my last year of high school. There's 306 Division I schools in the NCAA. I reached out to every single one of them. I literally started sliding in DMs before that was even a thing. I reached out to them on Twitter, on Facebook, and every single email, every coach that I could to figure out how can I get access to these coaches that in form would never see me, never hear me, because I'm in Toronto. After hundreds of emails, literally 306 times the amount of times I emailed them, 5 schools responded. 4 of them told me to never email them again, with one specifically saying, "You are not good enough to play here." It was San Francisco State, by the way, in case anybody knows anybody there. But one school, Alabama State University, said, "You know what, Anthony, we're going to give you an opportunity. We like what you're doing." Because I reached out to all of these schools with 2 different intents. I said, I want to go here to play baseball, but I also want to go here to study what you have, to live in the campus that you have, and X, Y, Z. I gave them every reason why I wanted to do it. Alabama State gave me the opportunity. So I took my shoes off and I said, listen, I'm stepping into what is now. Meaning that I don't have an excuse. Because it was so easy for me to find that excuse as to why I couldn't go to Alabama. After my 4 years at Alabama, I was a freshman of the year. My first year there, I became pitcher of the year and went on to win numerous conference titles. It all sounds great. Thank you. It was all great, but then I graduated. I graduated with a finance degree. So now I came home and I was super excited. I said, well, I'm doing well now. I had a great college career, baseball career, but now what? All my friends that went to Queens, Laurier, whatever school you guys went to, they said, oh, I had internships at CABC and TD and Merrill Lynch and this investment bank and that equity fund, and guess what I had on my resume? Nothing. I played baseball every summer. The only things that were on my resume was Mex and Gene Machine, and I'm pretty sure both those companies are bankrupt now. So I literally had nothing. And to top it off, I went to a school in Montgomery, Alabama. And for some reason, every time somebody says Montgomery, Alabama, they say it in that accent. So I just got used to saying it. So I didn't know what to do. I was stuck in that excuse mode again. Or I was looking at myself in the mirror and saying, Anthony, you weren't good enough to play baseball, but you found a way. Now I'm stuck saying, Anthony, you're not good enough to work in finance. Who cares about your degree? There's 200,000 other kids with the same degree as you. So what did I do? I took that same approach, that sliding in the DMs, that emailing, that LinkedIn, that Facebook, any way I can reach out to people. But it didn't work because my colleagues, my peers had more experience. So what I did was I knew that I had an advantage playing baseball. So I put out an ad to everybody in the GTA that I would coach their kids for free in baseball for 2 months. 600 parents responded to that email. 600, and every single one of them I followed up with. Because in my eyes, that was over 1,000 combined parents that I can tell my story to. And I can tell them that, listen, I just recently graduated in finance. I don't have any experience, but I will do whatever it takes to succeed at your company. And one guy gave me an opportunity. So it was super exciting. I started working at a real estate investment fund in Yorkville. Then fast forward 5 years. So I took myself back in that excuse mode. Now, I wasn't supposed to play baseball. I wasn't supposed to work in finance. And now I'm stuck here again and going, it's been 5 years and I'm still sitting in a cubicle. And I don't really like this. So I picked up art. My whole entire life I'd been painting, but I never really been painting seriously. But over the 5 years that I worked in finance, every single night, I started painting. My parents are in the crowd and they can attest that my dad would call me every single night at 3 o'clock in the morning because I lived at home at the time. Like, Anthony, what are you doing? Come inside, you work at 6 a.m., let's go. It's time to stop this game. But I continued to paint because this is what I wanted to do. So I took those 2 principles, and today the main principle that I want to leave everybody with is, let's stop the excuses. The principle that I was able to achieve and reach out to everybody, we can translate that into every walk of life. The excuse of I wasn't creative enough, I wasn't good enough to play baseball, I wasn't good enough to be in finance is useless. It's all words. So what I did was I started to reach out to architects, interior designers, anyone that listened to me. Because remember what I said at the start, I'm not good at art, but I knew that I wanted to pursue this. So after 5 years, after hundreds and hundreds of paintings that I gave away, after murals and so on, small opportunities start to come. And that's when I want to talk about timing. There's never the right time to do something crazy, like leave your job in finance to become an artist. And I have so many, especially young creatives, young entrepreneurs come to me now in the gallery or when I'm traveling and they say, Anthony, I'm gonna quit school. I'm gonna become an entrepreneur. I'm starting this cool company. I'm gonna become an artist. I'm gonna become a graphic designer, whatever it is. I mean, don't just jump out and do it. I worked for 5 years pretty much as a full-time painter on my side hustle before I had the opportunity to even take a big job offer. So what I want to say is that, guys, there's never the right time. Actually, when I quit my job was the absolute worst time. It was a week before my wedding, and luckily I'm still married. It's my 1-year anniversary this weekend. It was a week before my wedding, and it was literally the day that I closed on my house. So if you want to talk about bad timing, that was it. So time is irrelevant, though, when you're doing what you love. And I always joke now that I left my 9 to 5 to work 6 a.m. to 3 a.m., and I'm happier than ever. So I wanted to say, guys, that we truly can do anything that we set our mind to. I'm not a motivational speaker. I just wanted to share 3 stories in my life where I shouldn't have played baseball in the U.S. I shouldn't have worked in finance. And now that I have this opportunity to paint, I feel like it's time to share my story that I shouldn't be an artist, but when we truly do something that we love, when we follow our heart, incredible things do happen. Thank you, guys. I love you so much.
Thank you, Anthony. Fantastic. Our next speaker is Victoria.